Hello and welcome to Courts Today on LiveLaw, your go-to source for comprehensive and accessible legal news every day. I'm Debojit Das, and let's get into the most crucial judicial developments of the day. To get things started off, in a significant judgment, the Supreme Court has strongly criticized the Allahabad High Court for repeatedly issuing what it called cyclo-styled or boilerplate orders in bail cancellation cases. Rather than examining the evidence of witness intimidation, these orders often directed complainants to the witness protection scheme as a kind of substitute response. The bench, comprising Justices J.B. Pardiwala and Justice Sandeep Mehta, highlighted that it had identified over 40 of these similar orders in the last year alone. This practice was described as undermining the very purpose of bail conditions. The Supreme Court was firm. The witness protection scheme cannot and should not be treated as a substitute for cancelling bail where evidence suggests the accused threatened witnesses. The court also expressed dismay at public prosecutors who seemingly encouraged this approach, effectively sidelining the need for judicial scrutiny in bail cancellation matters. The Supreme Court set aside the High Court's order and remanded the matter for a fresh hearing, reinforcing that judicial accountability must remain paramount and it cannot be outsourced to alternative mechanisms. In another noteworthy ruling, the Supreme Court took notice of the Punjab and Haryana High Court for sidestepping the merits of an anticipatory bail plea and instead asking, why wasn't the accused arrested after 4 years? The Supreme Court, again led by Justices Pardiwala and Sandeep Mehta, clarified that such procedural questions do not aid the decision-making process at all. In fact, the accused remaining at liberty for so long without arrest should have been a strong factor in granting bail. The Apex Court granted anticipatory bail subject to standard conditions and stressed that courts must decide bail pleas based on legal merits, not on irrelevant procedural queries. This ruling is emphatic in discouraging high courts from unnecessary detours in bail matters. Following intense protests from the Supreme Court and Delhi High Court Bar Associations, the police issued a critical clarification on the examination of police witnesses in trials. The controversy arose because of the proposal that would have allowed witnesses to be examined via video conferencing directly from the police stations. Lawyers argued this compromised fairness since police stations are controlled environments and may intimidate witnesses or affect testimonies. In response to this backlash, Delhi police clarified that only formal police witnesses, that is, those not involved in the investigation, may be examined via video link from police stations. Meanwhile, material witnesses who are central to the investigation must appear physically in court. This decision aims to strike a balance between speeding up trials and preserving the integrity and credibility of crucial testimonies. Next up, news coming in from Calcutta as the Calcutta High Court recently stayed a contentious notification issued by the West Bengal Labour Department, which disqualified retired workers from holding offices in trade unions. The notification challenged by the Federal Chatkal Mazdoor Union contradicted Section 22, subsection 2 of the Trade Unions Act, which explicitly allows retired or retrenched workers to be elected as union office bearers. The union argued that the notification also violated Articles 19(1)A and 19(1)C of the Constitution, which protect freedom of expression and association. Justice Champa Dutt granted an interim stay, underscoring the need to preserve democratic rights within unions and prevent undue interference by the executive. In another significant ruling reinforcing victim rights, the Calcutta High Court suspended bail granted to an accused under the POCSO Act because the victim was not heard before the bail order was passed. For clarity, POCSO is the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. The court stressed that this omission violated both the POCSO Act's procedural safeguards and the principles of natural justice. Under POCSO, victims or their guardians must be given an opportunity to be heard in bail hearings to prevent further trauma and safeguard their interests. The trial court's failure to provide such a hearing was deemed a serious lapse. The High Court set aside the bail order and directed a fresh hearing with mandatory victim participation. This judgment highlights the court's commitment to a victim-centric approach, especially in sensitive cases involving children. Now, on a lighter note, in an unusual but impactful judgment, the Bombay High Court ordered a man to perform community service cleaning and mopping at Mumbai's JJ Hospital for filing a bogus FIR against a ZTV show based on false social media claims. The court found that the FIR was filed using multiple false identities, amounting to obstruction of justice. Community service was seen as a constructive and proportionate punishment, intended to deter frivolous litigation without resorting to harsher penalties. The accused must complete 15 days of cleaning, with failure attracting contempt proceedings. Coming back to the Delhi High Court, the court held that while whistleblowing is protected, it does not grant immunity from legitimate transfers. A CRPF personnel claimed his transfer to Manipur was retaliatory after whistleblowing, but the court found no evidence of malafide intent or motive. Transfers are a part of routine service, and courts will intervene only if credible proof of bad faith exists. This ruling balances encouraging whistleblowing with organizational discipline and service rules. Next up is the issue of the Gauhati High Court raising serious concerns over the Assam government's allotment of 3,000 bighas of tribal land in Dima Asau district, an area protected under the 6th schedule of the Constitution. The land was allotted to Mahabal Cements for a factory setup, prompting Justice Sanjay Kumar Medhi to question whether such a massive transfer served the public interest or violated constitutional safeguards for indigenous communities. The court ordered the North Kachar Hills Autonomous Council to submit original allotment documents to ensure transparency and constitutional compliance. The Assam government defended the allotment, presenting a committee report and assuring environmental clearances. But the court reserved further arguments and scheduled the next hearing for September 24th. This case highlights the ongoing tension between development, tribal rights, and environmental justice. And that wraps up today's detailed legal update on courts today. These judgments remind us how law balances rights, accountability, and constitutional principles in an ever-changing landscape. Stay tuned to www.livelawin for more thorough and insightful legal coverage. I'm Debojit Das. Thank you for watching.